Bow, bow. And there we go. Good morning. That was the end of that. Now, I hope everyone has been sufficiently hypnotized. We're going to see those embers roll in. We're going to see those channel subs roll in. That's right. Manipulation of the mind. Or something like that. I don't know. How are we all doing this morning? Shadowtronic's got the tutorial done. You're a wood elf ranger ready to do some crawling. All right, cool. I'm not exactly sure. Well, actually, I need to look up. Shadowtronics is talking about the Neverwinter. I need to look up where the group stuff is. So far, I'm only doing the campaign, which I guess you can group up on. I don't even know how to form a party, actually, but I guess you can group up on those. But there's a bunch of group stuff, but the I'm not sure if the campaign's supposed to be solo or not. I've been doing that by myself so far. You can get some good armor out of it too. Good morning, Kate. Kate is here with us, but very tired. She says, "Yeah, working hard. I wish, to be honest, I wish I was working hard as hard as Kate does." Yeah, and hopefully you're you said you spoke to a supervisor or someone with a little bit of hammer swinging ability. Hopefully straighten out your co-workers. Yeah, everyone needs to pull their weight there, Kate. I know there's no fun picking up other people's slack. Yeah. And I know that's the basics for Interact, Shadowtronics. What I'm talking about is the adventures designed for multiple parties. I don't know. I'm sure they're easy to find and all over the place. I'm just saying the only thing I've ever done so far is the personal campaign. You have one better. Oh, you haven't gone to sleep, Pat. Oh, okay. Well, you probably should. Listen to my voice long enough, and you too will go to sleep. Yes, you will. Actually, some people do that. Some people tune in just so they can be put to sleep. Well, that's fine. So, Ms. Pew's with us, Sorgus is with us, Kate's with us, Shadowtronics is with us. Let's see, who else? Did I miss anyone?
Shadowtronics sent 100 embers with the message, Boss Goat.
Yeah, the Boss Goat. The Boss Goat, greatest of all time. And that I might be. Thank you, Shadowtronics. That's very cool. Helga's come by with a host. I like those. Okay, so what's the plan? Here we go. We finished our novel yesterday. Whose Body? By Dorothy L. Sayers. It was pretty good. It was kind of hard to define what kind of theme was going on with it. To be honest. Well, not theme, but it was in some ways it was very the tone of it, I guess I should say. It was in a lot of ways it was very similar to Sherlock Holmes and Agatha Christie and a lot of other crime writers of the time. But at the same time, it was very satirical of them as well, and took great pains to skewer a lot of pop culture references, which we actually had to look up because they mean nothing to us now. 100+ years on, it's just like all these current events which were in the news at the time, I've never heard of. Luckily, Wikipedia is pretty darn good at cataloging a whole bunch of this stuff, so we were able to look up a lot of the pop culture references that were going down in the 1920s, which covered back then, the past 10 to 20 years. So that was very interesting. And then at the same time, it also had its like super dark moments, where Lord Peter Wimsey is, he starts having PTSD flashbacks just in the middle of nowhere. And the writing style, that was very interesting too. It swapped up all over the place. It was pretty good. I liked it. It was a different read. Apparently, from what I read, the publishers for Dorothy L. Sayers insisted that she calm down a little with her wild swings in style inside the one book. So I guess the further adventures of Lord Peter Wimsey are going to be a little more Not regular, that's not the word, formulaic, I guess. But we'll see. We'll probably read one, maybe, next year, actually, because I think this is the only one in the public domain right now. So, if there was one published in the following year, in 1925, we'll be able to read about that January 1st. So yeah, okay, but there we go. And so since we don't start brand new novels except on a Monday, because what's the point on starting one or on a Wednesday or Thursday just to like stop real fast? Because Friday and Saturday there's no book club, just a lot more gaming. Sunday we've got short story Sunday. Yeah, so Monday we'll kick off with a brand new novel on Monday. But so that means from now till so today Wednesday, tomorrow Thursday, we're going to be doing Choose Your Own Adventure. Choose Your Own Adventure. We still haven't got through to the end of any of these books. I read them best I can. It's got to be you guys making all the bad decisions. That's all I can think of. That's all I can think of. Well, why aren't we getting to the end of these books? I don't know. It's got to be. Choose wisely. That's all I can suggest. Choose wisely. Sorgus says, do I usually go on and host when the stream is done? You've been woken up from a host before. Well, yeah, I try to find one. And if it's after book club, it is generally a either family friendly or teen rated stream in the creative channel. Yeah, because I don't need any wild surprises for the people who have like nodded off. Just something chill. So yeah, and the same thing too. When I end a stream at night, I tend to keep it. Since most of my streams are the family friendly kind, yeah. So if I host a stream after I'm done gaming in the evening, it will also tend to be, well, yeah, almost always it's going to be the same rating that I had been streaming at, because no one needs to go from some chill, relaxed, casual game to some like grisly, gore, violent Gears, for example. Speaking of Gears, that's actually what we're playing tonight. So yeah, there we go. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. All right. Can you do the game like one? What's the game? Not today. No. Maybe, you know, I'm actually gonna do that in a gaming session as opposed to book club session, just so I don't have to deal with YouTube, because I actually got a strike against the board game one of Warlock of Firetop Mountain. And even here in the book versions, I've turned music off just in case, because right now it's going up to YouTube. So the book stuff goes to YouTube, the gaming stuff doesn't at all. Yeah, YouTube is just, yeah, it's just too much. All right. But here we are. Have we missed anything? Have I failed to mention anything? Does anyone have any news to share? Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah, so tonight we're playing Bleeding Edge and we're playing Gears 5. So if you want to get in on that action, yeah, you should be able to. Starting at about 7 p.m. Pacific. I might start a little earlier, because apparently I have a little more time on my hands. I have an audition today. Yeah. Okay, finally. Good Lord. And it just came out of the blue as well. So, yeah, actually, after book club today, I'm straight into my studio to record some stuff. It's going to be great. Shadowtronic says, then what's the point of streaming to YouTube unless you're supposed to use YouTube? Well, I mean, there's tons of other live stream options there for YouTube. Now, the thing is, YouTube gaming, live streaming to YouTube gaming, I don't know why anyone would do that. Because like, I mean, if you have music turned on, the game music turned on at all, yeah, you're going to get nicked for something. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, right now I'm just on entertainment up on YouTube Live. I have no idea how many people watch it up there. This reminds me. I have a special request from you all right before we get in. Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for being here. Second of all, if you enjoy the stream, as I'm assuming you do, if you would like to host the stream, that would be nice. Yeah, I would appreciate that. all of that helps. And Lady, good morning, Lady Death. Good morning. Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. The thing didn't pop up there. Why not? Oh, it did. Okay, okay. There's a delay between there. Okay. Lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. So if you could throw a host down for the stream, if you enjoy the stream there and would like to share it out with your friends, that would be great. That would be great help. Also, directly underneath your video, there should be the share to social media one, like share to Twitter, share to Facebook if you're enjoying the stream. Yeah, hit that share to Twitter or share to Facebook if you have one, and let your friends know that way as well. I think we all know someone who's stuck working from home or probably, unfortunately, out of work. Or, being schooled from home or what have you. So if they need some nice escapist entertainment for a few hours every day, take their mind off of things, let them know about it. Yeah, share the link to the stream, put a little paragraph in, or not even a paragraph, just a sentence. Say, hey, I like this guy because reasons. I don't know what your reasons are. I could hazard some guesses, but yeah. But anyway, in the meantime, we should probably get on with it. Let's do it. So today we're going to be reading. I don't know. What are we reading? Let's take a look. I see Lady Death over on the Twitch. Why, hello there. That's the wrong. That's the wrong one. What? Where the heck is it? There it is. Okay. So these are the books that we are reading today. Let's take a little peek and see what's going on. Hey, good morning, Boomer. Wow, actually, that reason had never crossed my mind, because I'm freaking gorgeous. I like that. I like the cut of your jib, though. Yeah, I like that. Oh, good morning, McLean. Good morning, McLean. Okay, all right, the waffle stickers are coming down. I need to get on with it. What, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain? You think we should start with that? There's some other good ones here as well. I should probably unlock those. City of Thieves and the Forest of... well, we can get to them later. It's been a long while since we started with Bloodbones. That's what we're going to start with, Bloodbones. Have I ever done film voice? Yes, I have, Sorgosis. Yes. Let's restart this book. Let's restart this one. This is where we're starting. Shadowtronics. Okay. Well, tell Shadowtronics, you get to keep keep the queue, the queue. If you wouldn't mind. Good morning, Anomaly. What's going on? And Halo Collector, there is a new Halo charity T-shirt. Ah, very nice, very nice. Let's see. Have I missed anything? I don't think I've missed anything. All right, there we go. I'm going to add that to my stream description. Freaking gorgeous. I like that. Okay, well, I've already kind of decided there, Shadow. Or others. That's okay. Okay, here we go. Adventurer. We're going in as adventurer. You made rice. Oh man, rice. I haven't had rice pudding in years. That was like a classic dish when I was when I was younger. When I was younger, back in the day. Okay, yeah, you all know how this works pretty much. We're just gonna get our stamina out of the way. Yeah, we got some good stamina. We'll keep that. Well, I mean, we didn't have a choice anyway. Our skill. Let's get our rolling skill. 1d6 plus 6. Oh my lord, we're gonna die. And luck is the best it could be. Okay, so we're in trouble. Determine starting number of gold pieces. What is this? 2d6 plus 12? Okay. No, now we got to choose our equipment. Okay. You begin your adventure with a sword, backpack, tinderbox, gold pieces, and a lantern to light your way. Rationing your provisions is key to a successful adventure. They may be consumed at any time, excluding combat, by accessing the adventure sheet. Each meal restores 4 stamina, Be sure to pay close attention to your stamina and restore it regularly. In Bloodbones, you begin your journey with no provisions, regardless of your chosen difficulty level. During your quest, you may encounter characters and items that alter your 3 scores: stamina, skill, and luck. Usually, these scores may only ever be restored to their initial amount. On very rare occasions, a particular page may grant an effect that defies this rule. Aside from these occasions, some magic items may also allow you to exceed your initial scores. Once you have readied your equipment, there's one more thing you should know. All right. During the adventure, you will notice that hours will pass at key points, usually when you have been doing something for a considerable length of time. This is very important, as will become apparent as your adventure progresses. Try not to allow too many hours to pass. Okay, so Shadowtronics is keeping control of the queue. Good morning, Skip Donahue. Oh yeah, no, the rice pudding's great. So's tapioca pudding. But yeah, not the stuff you buy in the store. So, a good fresh baked tapioca pudding is awesome. Rice and tapioca is even, yeah. All right. Go Klepto retweeted one of our things. Nice. Let us see. The tapioca is great. Okay. Let's. I've totally lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? And for those who want to really try and get through these, I know we do this casually from time to time, but yeah, but if you do like these things, you might want to take notes. I don't take notes on any of these because I'm just reading and you guys are doing the adventuring, but. If you at some point we will get through one of these books, and it's only going to happen if the people who like these books are taking notes. Yeah. Very good. Let's do it. It all started 10 years ago, when the evil pirate lord Cinnabar murdered your family. At the time, you were only 12 years old and lived with your family in the small fishing village of Clam Beach on the northern coast of Ruddleston, halfway between the 2 major ports of the kingdom. Harabnab, home to all lawful adventurers and sailors, and the sinister Port of Crabs. Life in Clam Beach was not easy, but it did have a peaceful security about it. And then the terrible day came. It was a clear summer day in Warming when the huge, forbidding black galleon sailed into the bay, flying the dreaded flag of the skull and crossbones. Pirates! The bloodthirsty cutthroats were soon racing up the beach towards the village. The fighting was swift and bloody. Soon, most of the grown folk of Clam Beach had been killed, your father and 2 siblings dying while trying to defend the village. In the end, the village elders had no choice but to surrender to the marauding raiders and open the village's meager treasure coffers. The cruel pirate captain came ashore from his ship to collect the booty himself. The sight of him filled you with awe and fear. The pirate was a tall, handsome man with a neatly trimmed, pointed black beard, and his hair tied back in a ponytail. He was dressed in the clothes of a nobleman, with a fine scarlet coat trimmed with gold braid, and wearing a large tricorn hat. At his waist hung a gleaming cutlass, and you could not help noticing that on the back of his right hand was tattooed the image of a grinning black skull. When the raiders had finally gone, filled with feelings of hatred for those who had murdered your family, you asked Ragai, the village soothsayer, who the pirate captain was. "That villain is one of the most evil men ever to sail the 12 seas of Titan," was his vehement reply. He is one of the most feared pirate lords of our age, a creature without remorse, a murderer, and a follower of the bloodthirsty voodoo death god Quezcari, whose mark...
Anom_ally_ sent 50 embers with the message Pegasus.
Wow, well, thank you very much there. Thank you very much there, Anomaly. Anomaly. Thank you. Very cool. Yeah, Pegasus fits right on in with this fantasy land. It's going to be a great adventure. Yeah. Oh, Helga's having a bit of a rough trot right now. I'm sorry to hear that, Helga. Yeah, it's the things are boy a little tough right now. They are indeed. Yeah. But yeah, go. Yeah, I hope you're still checking in with that health professional there. Keep you on the right path. Yeah. Anyway, it's good to see you again. It is good to see you again, Helga. He is one of the most feared pirate lords of our age, a creature without remorse, a murderer and a follower of the bloodthirsty voodoo death god Quezcari, whose mark is the Black Skull. He is Cinnabar, but because of the terrible atrocities he commits, he is also known as Blood Bones. From that moment, you vowed that one day you would have your revenge on the evil Cinnabar. Your mother became ill soon after that dreadful day, and 3 years later, she died. On your 16th birthday, you left Clam Beach and made your way to Harabnab, gaining the position of cabin boy on a ship traveling to the distant continent of Alanzia. For the last 6 years, you have sailed all across the globe, but you never forgot the promise you made to yourself a decade ago. Over many voyages, you have tried to learn as much as you can about the rogue captain. You discovered that Cinnabar's galleon, the Virago, is frequently seen sailing in the waters around Nankunu Bay, and that he has a hidden base somewhere close to the port of Crabs. You also gleaned as much information as you could about the notorious city. And so, when you decided that you were at last ready to confront your enemy, and the chance of passage on a merchant ship sailing to the port of Crabs came up, you leapt at the opportunity. Vengeance, you are sure, will soon be yours. The port of Crabs is haven to every pirate, buccaneer, and freebooter who ply their trade off the coast of the kingdom of Rattleston in the old world. As you stand at the prow of the merchantman, looking towards the land, you can make out the ramshackle jumble of buildings of the infamous city, and the outline of the old fort that stands above it, like some ancient, crumbling sentinel. The merchantman bumps against the stone jetty, and you quickly disembark. Not only is the port of Crabs one of the most dangerous cities in the old world, but a thick fog is starting to roll in from the sea. It is late afternoon on a chill day in the month of unlocking, and the docks are bustling with activity. Standing close to the quayside is a large, old stone building, which looks like it could withstand a battering from Hardana, god of the deep himself. Hanging over its sturdy oak door is a faded sign declaring that this is the Jolly Roger. This seems as good a place as any to begin your search for Cinnabar. So you enter the inn. All right, do we have our queue sorted out? I'm going to be starting any minute on this page. Kate Girl is going to fall asleep. Okay, well, okay, cool. Sounds like Helga's doing the right thing. Good gracious, Shadowtronics knows the bad ex-girlfriends. All right, here we go. The spacious bar inside the Jolly Roger is packed with all manner of scurvy-looking sailors and other lowlifes. The landlord is as big as an ox and has a large anchor tattooed on one arm. No one takes any notice of you as you enter, so you approach the bar and order a tankard of ale, costing 1 gold piece. You decide to question the landlord about Cinnabar first. Over your tankard of ale, you talk about the weather and the state of trade, and then draw the innkeeper onto the subject of the pirate you seek. "I hear the virago plies these waters," you say. "I'm surprised we weren't attacked ourselves." "Not any more it doesn't," the landlord replied. "Have you not heard? Cinnabar has been dead these last 6 months." "Cinnabar dead? You have come all this way, after years of harboring desires for revenge, only to find that the dread pirate lord has already passed from this world." You ask the landlord how he died. Okay, our timer hasn't started yet. "Have you not heard? I would have thought that everyone as far as the Diamond Islands would know by now. It all happened last hiding." You listen attentively as the innkeeper relates the tale. It appears that Cinnabar and his crew were emptying the hold of a galley, sailing from Harabnab to Arkleton, in distant Analand, when the renowned bounty hunter, Conan, caught up with them in his ship, the Fortune. Unable to escape, Cinnabar and his men had to defend themselves against the crew of the galley and Conan. Fierce fighting ensued, with Cinnabar eventually falling at Conan's hand, having suffered an incredible number of wounds, his body being lost to the sea. With their leader killed, the surviving members of his crew fled aboard the virago, returning to the port of Crabs. Soon after, Cinnabar's second-in-command, Meryl the Red, set off in the virago amid terrible storms, purportedly to recover her captain's body. Many believe now that the pirate lord's galleon sank, as it has not been seen since, the landlord says, concluding his story. You thank him for his help, and in a bewildered daze you make to leave the inn. You console yourself with the thought that at least the murderer of your family has at least been brought to justice. As you leave the Jolly Roger, you feel someone pulling on your jerkin. Turning round, you discover that an old drunk, slumped at a table by himself, is the one trying to attract your attention. "Just 'cause he's dead doesn't mean he's at rest," mutters the drunk. Curious about the drunk's words, you sit down opposite the old man and ask him what he means. "Let's just say you don't want to go believing everything you hear. But I know what's going on. Oh, yes, old Dreg knows. Cinnabar isn't really dead, see? And he's coming back," the old man says in a harsh whisper. Intrigued, you press Dreg to tell you more, but he suddenly becomes serious and looks round the barroom uneasily. "Not here. Meet me outside in 10 minutes. You nod in agreement and leave the Jolly Roger. Good morning, Agent. I forgot how long of an intro this particular book has. This is a long one. Yeah. So the AJ hooked us up with a host. Thank you. Oh, very nice. What have I missed? AJ, the Dread Pirate Roberts. That would be interesting. Very good. Okay, let's continue. You'll be in time for school. Whew. Alrighty. Tendrils of fog are now swirling around the boats in the harbor and oozing along the streets of the town. When the 10 minutes are up, you quickly return to the Jolly Roger and sneak down the side alley next to it. In the mist and shadows at the end of the narrow alleyway, you can make out 3 figures, standing over a 4th, cowering on the ground at their feet. Wasting no time, you draw your sword and dash at them. Hearing you approach, the 3 pirates turn to face you. The burly characters are ugly, scarred rogues, and the biggest of them, who is easily wielding a heavy wooden club in one hand and holding a bullwhip in the other, looks as if he has some ogre blood in his lineage. At the pirate's feet lies Dreg, beaten, bruised, and only just conscious. "Here's the snooper," growls the half-ogre. "You're no match for us. By the time we're finished with you, you'll be feeding the shrimps. Or rather, the shrimps'll be feeding on you." The other 2 pirates burst into coarse laughter at their companion's joke. "Yeah, you're fish bait." Still laughing, the ruffians advance towards you. Apart from the half-ogre, there is a well-built bearded man, missing most of his teeth, and a leaner rogue with 2 ugly red scars running down the right side of his face. You may be about to engage in your first fighting fantasy battle. Would you like to know more about how combat works? I guess this is where we start. Who's up? Let's do it. Where is... No, you don't want to know more. All right. How will you deal with the ruffians stepping menacingly towards you? To charge one of the pirates, turn to 357. If you want to stand firm and prepare to fight the rogues, we could do that too. Or would you rather try and escape by running back along the alleyway? Don't forget, your skill, by the way, is 7, which is really bad. What's new with me? Not a lot, Helga. Just chilling away. Same old, same old. I got an audition later today. Very pleased about that. Shadowtronics wants to charge one of the pirates. Okay, so here's how it works. So it's not a free-for-all with this. Everyone gets 15 minutes to call the shots. The pirates are not expecting this reaction from you, and you are able to wound one of the rogues before they know what's going on. It is time to fight. Okay, first pirate. Okay, so you still get to fight all of them. Okay, I guess he's a little weaker then, than normal. You only have a 1-point advantage on the dice. So this is going to be... Yeah, we're probably going to die fairly early. So, and like I said before, the only way that we're going to get through to the end of these is if people start taking some notes. Because we're probably going to be back here very shortly. Okay, well, and one more. And I have all the music and everything's turned off there because YouTube gives me a hard time with all that. Yeah, we're gonna die. Oh, yeah, we're getting wrecked here. All right, finally got him. Okay, that's the first pirate. Now you have defeated the first pirate. Now you must face second pirate. No. There we go. Oh, he only needs 2 hits. Okay, so we probably got him. 16 to 13, we get him, and what do we got? Nope. A tie, it means that we both miss. And we got him, there we go. Okay, second pirate down. You are triumphant, it says. Okay, alrighty. Although you did take a bit of a beating. You took one heck of a beating, actually. Take a look at our adventure sheet here. We started with 23 stamina, and we're already down to 15. Yeah, all right. So you only have a skill of 7, and 7 is the dice roll thing there. So that's kind of rough. How is this virtual RP called? It is, these are adaptations of the Fighting Fantasy game book, the Fighting Fantasy game books. Yeah, back in the 80s, they were like a huge thing. It's like choose your own adventure kind of thing, but with dice roll mechanics in there as well. Helga's lockdown is over on May 4th. Yeah, well, Yeah, over here in the States, they still can't figure out what they're doing. Fantastic. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so Shadowtronics, they won that. Okay, now this is Mrs. Shadow calling the shots, by the way. If we defeat the scoundrels, the half ogre steps forward to fight you. Will you face your opponent, or would you try to escape? This is the big half ogre. Okay, so his two sidekicks are down, but the half ogre himself. Half ogre himself has got that. It depends, Skip. Depends. It depends. And by the way, and that's why people interested in getting to the end of these books need to be taking notes, because the encounters don't change. I mean, like, I mean, obviously there are several different choices you can make, but if you kill someone and there's no loot, there's not going to be loot the second time. So you can make better choices the next time round. Yeah. Shadowtronics says we're going to fight this one. Okay. Dropping his whip, the half ogre moves in to attack you with his club. Get ready to fight. The ogre has a 1-point advantage on us, so we need some high numbers. Otherwise, he's going to be whipping us hard. Okay, what do we got? Okay. Luckily, he's not too strong. I mean, he is a boy, but we are still getting smacked around hard. Man. Okay, we need one more hit on him, but it's okay. Oh, I think we did get it, all right? But just barely. All right. You are triumphant. If you kill the half ogre, turn to 328. Jick him in the fork. I don't even know what that means. The last of the pirates falls, and with some relief you sheathe your sword. It looks as if the pirates have beaten Dreg within an inch of his life, and he is failing fast. You do your best to make the old man comfortable, and he opens his eyes. "Thanks, stranger," he gasps. "But I'm a goner now. They're up to something, you know." You ask him who he's talking about. "Cinnabar's crew. The pirates of the Black Skull." Looking at the hands of Dreg's assailants, you see that each bears the tattoo of a grinning black skull. "I've seen them meeting up again around the taverns in the city. Silas Gallows, Keel Hall Jack, Old Crivens, even Malu the witch doctor. They're planning something all right. Rumor says Mirrel the Red found Cinnabar's body, and that he's not rightly dead. But he's not rightly alive either, see? It's all that voodoo and black magic they meddle in. Not right, it isn't. I've heard tell that they're planning something big tonight. You'd think old Snide and the guard would be looking into it, but truth be told, no one's been able to locate their hideout." Dreg coughs weakly. "He's coming back. We'll all be doomed. Stranger, beware the Black Skull. Blood Bones is coming back." And then he is gone. Laying the old man down, you ponder his last words and what your next action should be. So Cinnabar is not really dead. In that case, you may still have a chance for revenge, but what did Dreg mean when he said that Cinnabar is not really alive either? Drake has given you several clues about your enemy and where you should start your search for him, and it seems that time is of the essence if you want to stop the pirates of the Black Skull. The old man mentioned that the pirates of the Black Skull were gathering again in the port of Crabs, so they may have a hidden base somewhere in the city. But of course, at present, you have no idea where it may be. Before leaving Drake, you search the bodies of his assailants for any further clues. You find nothing helpful, but you do discover that one was carrying a bottle of rum. Drinking the rum will restore 4 stamina points. You now have 6 options available to you. You could visit some of the taverns and inns yourself in the hope of finding out more. Perhaps you could visit the notorious gambling pits, a possible source of information and a way of increasing your gold pieces. Alternatively, it might be a good idea to better equip yourself by visiting the markets before you set out on your quest. You could try to find out more about the Black Skull and the cult of Kezkari. Then again, although the Governor Montago has certainly allowed the port to remain a safe haven for buccaneers and freebooters, you may do well to get the help of the authorities against Cinnabar. Or you could take the direct approach, abandon your search for further information, and instead look for the pirates' hidden base. There are a lot of options there, What, yeah, that is, what are they gonna do? I don't know. I don't know. That's, it's up to Mrs. Shadow. Mrs. Shadow. Bum, bum, bum. You want to head to the markets? Okay. Oh, but by the way, you can get this book in paperback. Bloop. From Amazon. Just pop that right in there. That's an actual book. Not this thing. This is the actual version that we're doing here. The adaptation. This one right here is you can pick it up on Steam. Actually, Bloodbones comes with it free on the Steam version. Fighting Fantasy Classics. Yeah, so Fighting Fantasy Classics from Tin Man Games. Bloodbones comes free, and then there's a bunch of other books you can unlock for a couple of dollars a piece. The lag is real, okay. Alright. Shadowtronic says we're headed to the market. Okay, visiting the market. The port's sprawling markets lie within the merchant quarter, which runs from Farthing Lane to Moneylenders Street. You have 2 possible options. If you want to look for practical equipment around the markets, you could do that. Or you could visit the Port of Crab's lively bazaar with its more exotic and expensive wares. Who's Tipiel? I don't know. Okay. Do. Where, oh where? Oh hey Death Tom. You've not read this one? It's pretty good. It's actually pretty, it's actually one of the brand new ones. Hey Ronaldo, I see you over there on Periscope. How you doing? On Steam, Ronaldo, yeah, if you look up Fighting Fantasy Classics by Tin Man Games, yeah, you can download the base game, which actually includes this particular one right here, Bloodbones, for free. And then they have about another 10 of the 1980s classic choose your own adventure fighting fantasy books that you can also add into it as well if you want. But those cost money. I have all of those as well, but this is the one we're doing right now. Anyway, interesting. Someone on Periscope. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, before we get back into it, where's Shadowtronics go? Oh, you want to get the equipment? Okay, practical equipment. Okay, let's go there. Yeah, so for the benefit of our friends over on Twitch and Periscope and YouTube Live, yeah, our main stream is over here at Mixer, mixer.com/CarringtonTV. And I stream live book narration 5 days a week, and then later in the evening we also do gaming as well. But the book reading stuff, I'm streaming that out to other places, including Periscope right now, just because, you know, and until everyone's no longer working from home, basically. Okay, let's get on with it. Scouring the various stalls, you soon find a number of quest items, Shadow, which might be of use to you on your quest. You may buy any of the things on the list as long as you have enough money. What shall you get? When you have finished here, you may either take a look around the bazaar for more exotic items, or you can leave the markets. It is, you have 19 pieces of gold. That's all we got. Money is God. Well, it's useful. It's useful, Death Tom. I believe you have 19 pieces of gold left because you spent 1 gold piece on a jug of bad rum. You got 90. Yes, you have 19 pieces. Oh, by the way, you're at 9 stamina, and you got that's it. 1 bottle of rum, which will heal up 4 points of damage. That's all you got. Yeah. Speaking of that, it's almost time to switch it up. What are we doing here, Shadow? Oh, restream chat. Well, no, it's not working exactly. It's not tapping into Mixer for some reason there, Lady Death. I'm not sure why. Shadow wants 5 provisions. Okay, extra provisions, 1 gold apiece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is true, Death Tom. Friends definitely are better for you than money. Oh, yeah, I have to have the separate app open, Lady Death, in order to see that here. You want to buy a cutlass? Okay. 8 gold. So, yeah, you got 6 pieces left. And where we at? How's that timer doing too, by the way? Rope, you want a piece of rope? All right. And ladies up next, okay. Yeah, I bought the rope. And the poison antidote, okay? 3, oh, yeah, it's 3, okay, all right. You get 3 doses. 3 doses of it. Good, okay, that's actually not a bad deal, not a bad deal. How much money do you have left? You got none. You got none left. Okay, so Shadowtronics is spending all the money before Lady has a chance to. All right. All right. Alrighty. Okay, well, there we go. Lady Death is up. Here we go. So right now you got no money left. You are hurting. We should throw a bookmark down, I guess. But you have 9 stamina out of 23. You have 5 provisions and 1 bottle of rum. all of these heal. Each of them heals for 4 points of damage. Let's throw a bookmark down, because this is where Lady is starting. So what are we doing, Lady Death? Do you want to go to the bazaar to look at stuff that you can't afford to buy? Or do you want to leave the markets? We should have a couple of provisions. Okay. We'll eat one of these. 1, 2. Okay, now you're 17 out of 23. That's a little more respectable. A little more respectable. All right. And so what's next? What is next, Lady Death? Leave the markets. You don't want to see what you can't buy. Fair enough. I hate that feeling too. As you leave the markets, you note that 1 hour has passed. As you are walking along Traders Street, you cannot help but notice a roguish figure standing on the corner of Lobster Alley. The man is gaunt and scrawny, in his later years with several days' growth of stubble. He also has an eye patch, a wooden stump for a leg beneath his right knee, and wears a long coat and tricorn hat. A monkey with its own tiny waistcoat is scampering around the man's shoulders. As you walk past the pirate, you make eye contact, and he beckons you with a glance before turning and hobbling away up the alley. Will you follow the man? Or will you go on your way? Yeah, he does sound a little sketchy, I'll grant you that much. But maybe he's legit, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Follow him? Okay. Oh, you know what? Let me just throw down, where is it? Is restream chat. I don't have... There's a pixel chat chat window. Where is that? It's right there behind me. That doesn't seem to be working. Let me throw down the, maybe the restream. I'm just going to throw down a chat window here real fast. Add existing restream chat window. See if this works. Let's scroll that under. I think that's behind me. Is that behind me? Up. There it is behind me. Okay. In theory that should work. All right. He might, okay, you want to follow him. Let's do it. Let's follow him. He might have useful information. Despite having a wooden leg, the old rogue moves quite quickly and disappears around a corner before you can catch up with him. As you are about to round the corner yourself, you suddenly start to have misgivings about your latest course of action. Will you continue to follow the pirate? Or will you go back the way you've just come? Always follow strangers into alleyways. How else do you find adventure? Yeah. Okay, oh, Lady Death's getting cold feet. Getting cold feet. Okay, going back. You turn round and come face to face with 2 black-robed figures, their faces hidden by the hoods of their habits. Wielding heavy kashas, the devotees advance on you. It's time to fight. Well, luckily for you, you turn back. They would have got you from behind otherwise. Let's do it. We have a 1-point advantage on the dice. Yeah, okay. We got to fight anyway, yeah, okay. They got a fair amount of hit points, though, for a couple of devotees. Okay, oh, they're rolling badly, though. Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah, you got to keep track of your hit points, yeah. There we go, 15, 10, first one's down. And second one, oh, okay, we're even on the dice now, So we got to roll more than they do every single time. Otherwise, we're going to take some damage here. Oh yeah, I have all the music turned off, by the way, because I'm restreaming this up to YouTube as well. And I just don't trust their automated their automated system. Okay, there's a tie. A tie. Okay, there we go. A tie is we both miss, and that's as good as a miss. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, what we got? Wow, he's whacking us upside the head pretty good. Okay, where we go. Nice slash on them. One more hit to take him out. I think we got him, and there we go. We got him. Nice. We got the second devotee. You are triumphant. You did take a bit of a hit. It's so hard. This game is so hard when you only have like 7 or so for skill. Yeah, I mean 10, 11, 12. I mean that's fine, but man, when you got 7, it's going to be uphill, and because all the enemies pretty much start at, you know, like 5, 6, and then it's very soon you know, you're up against even things like this, and we're not even that far in. All right, by the skin of our teeth. Here we go. You turn round. Oh no! If you defeat the 2 robed figures, your opponent slumped to the ground, and you turn round to deal with the treacherous pirate. The old rogue is already fleeing as fast as he can along the alley. You run after him, but hearing your approach, the man spins round and lets fly a dagger. Test your skill. We need to do 7 or less. 7 or less. Oh boy, that's hard. It's hard. No, we fail it. Sadly, you fail the skill check. The dagger sinks into your shoulder. You lose 2 stamina points. If you're still alive, the pirate unsheaths a long knife with which to defend himself. "You ain't taken old Crivens yet," he spits vehemently. "Come any closer and I'll slit your gizzard." Ignoring the old man's threats, once again you engage in battle. While you are fighting its master, the villain's pet monkey does its best to distract you, climbing all over and biting you. As a result, for the duration of this battle, your attack strength is reduced by 1 point. Get ready to fight. Here we go. I'm just going to throw you this little bone here. You are 11 out of 23 stamina. And your skill, which is going to be reduced to 6 for this because you have the monkey climbing all over you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Definitely a provision. Okay. It's up the irony of Brian. How you doing? Skip Donahue wants his leg. What would you do with a peg leg? Suppose you could hang it on the wall. All right. Is that it, Lady Death? Are we good to go? Or what are we doing here? Are we okay? Okay, so we got the provision. I guess we're going into fight there. Okay, what sorry, I'm confused. Is the yes please going into fight, or is the yes please we need a provision? Let's fight him. Okay, go. Get ready to fight. Okay. You might. Okay, oh boy, he's got a 2-point advantage on us on the dice. Man, all right, okay. Yeah, because his skill is 8, ours is temporarily at 6. All right, man, this is going to be ugly. We might not make this. Actually, we might not make this one. Yeah, it's looking bad. We are going to be big trouble. Yeah, we haven't hit him once. It's one of those things that sometimes, I mean, there's not a lot you can do. Oh, there we go. We still need to hit him another 3 times, though. Okay, there's, oh boy, down to 2. Yeah, the funeral pyre is gonna be interesting. Boom. Okay, there we go. No. Oh man, oh boy, we need 1 more hit, but we can only take 3 more ourselves. Yeah, okay, boy, we're in rough shape. This is it. We're both down to 1 hit point. Whoever wins the next dice roll wins or loses. We lost. Just like that. You are overcome by your enemies. If you are defeated, you are dead. You will never have your revenge against Cinnabar. That's it. That was it. Irony of Brian says, loving the book, reading, coming to Mixer. Yeah, I'm freshly arrived. Yes, I am. How you doing? Yeah. So Shadowtronics gave some of the basics. Yeah, this is Final Fantasy Classics, by the way. So yeah, there's these were all choose your own adventure fighting fantasy books from the 80s, except Bloodbones, which is a new one. But Tin Man Games makes this adaptation of the old books, and Bloodbones comes with the it comes free with the framework, Fighting Fantasy Classics. But all the rest of these books, Warlock of Firetop Mountain, Death Trap Dungeon, these are all like $2 or $3, depending on if you buy them on sale or not. And there's tons of them. Yeah. Oh, you loved them growing up? Yeah. They still publish them, and they've actually in the past couple of years have actually added some brand new adventures as well. Yeah, I'll just put in this little. That's an actual Amazon link for a paperback, for an actual paperback of this book here, which is they're just tons of fun. I played the heck out of these back in the day. Alrighty, well, I'm sorry, Lady Death. That was it. So here's the plan. We're going to stick with Bloodbones. Let's get this going again. Let us read this one. We're just going to restart it from scratch. We're going to go in with brand new stats. We can fast forward through most of the stuff here. Let's get our rolling stamina out of the way. Okay, great. 22, nice. Next, our skill, 1d6 plus 6. Please be better than 7. 8. We're going to die. Still, technically, 8 is better than 7. And of course, everyone's been keeping track of their oh boy, luck of 7. Everyone's been keeping track of their notes. Starting gold. Adventurer's equipment. Alrighty, boom. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, well we don't need to read through all this pre stuff here. Just enter the inn for Cinnabar. Ask the landlord how he died. Okay, so yeah, okay, but we've all read this. Meet the dude outside in 10 minutes, he says. This is the this is where we have to start because the outcome starts to change at this point. Okay. All right, let's get back into it. Alrighty. Yeah, we're still gonna die awful. Still gonna die awful. Wonder what happens if you defeat the pirate. Haven't got there yet. Alrighty, let's do it. Alrighty, we'll start right here. Okay. Tendrils of fog are now swirling around the boats in the harbor and oozing along the streets of the town. When the 10 minutes are up, you quickly return to the Jolly Roger and sneak down the side alley next to it. In the mist and shadows at the end of the narrow alleyway, you can make out 3 figures standing over a 4th, cowering on the ground at their feet. Wasting no time, you draw your sword and dash towards them. Hearing your approach, the 3 pirates turn to face you. The burly characters are ugly, scarred rogues, and the biggest of them, who is easily wielding a heavy wooden club in one hand and holding a bullwhip in the other, looks as if he has some ogre blood in his lineage. At the pirate's feet lies Drag, beaten, bruised, and only just conscious. "Here's the snooper," growls the half-ogre. "You're no match for us. By the time we've finished with you, you'll be feeding the shrimps, or rather, the shrimps'll be feeding on you." The other 2 pirates burst into coarse laughter at their companion's joke. "Yeah, you're fish bait." Still laughing, the ruffians advance toward you. Apart from the half-ogre, there is a well-built bearded man, missing most of his teeth, and a leaner rogue with 2 ugly red scars running down the right side of his face. We know how the combat system works. So here we go. Who is up? I lost track. How will you deal with the ruffian stepping menacingly towards you? You could charge one of the pirates. You could stand firm and prepare to fight the rogues, or try to escape by running back along the alleyway. Skip Donahue is saying fight, fight, fight. Skip is up. Okay, very good. Okay, so Skip's got 15 minutes. Okay, Skip says fight. Stand firm and fight. All right. Swinging their cudgels, the pirates engage you in combat. It's time to fight. Here we go. Let's do it. So we got a 1-point advantage on the dice. It's not much, but it's better than what we had last time. Because last time was awful. Oh. Okay, when you said fight, I think I assumed you meant the option that just said fight as opposed to charge. All right. All right. Well, we're in now. Uh-oh, I think you took a hit here. Oh, no, you didn't. I got my dice colors mixed up. Okay. You are triumphant. Okay, well, you defeated the violent scoundrels. The half-ogre steps forward to fight you. Will you face your opponent, Skip Donahue? Or would you want to try to escape from this one? Steam is downloading Final Fantasy Classics. Ah. Yeah, so this one, yeah, is free, but yeah, and the other books go on sale quite often. Wait, what are we doing here, Skip Donahue? Are we going to face our opponent or try to escape? We're going to fight him. Okay, all right. Dropping his whip, the half-ogre moves in to attack you with his club. Get ready to fight. Okay, so you are even. You're even on the dice against this guy here. All right. Well, I think he got a good swing on you. Yeah, this half-ogre, he ain't messing around. Boy, okay, that's 2 hits. 2 hits straight to you. No. 3 in a row. He's whopping you. You better start fighting back. Start fighting back, Skip. Yeah, that more like that. That's right. Do that like that. Some more of that action. Oh, it looks like one dice is stuck halfway. Might re-roll. Oh, let them keep it. Interesting. Yeah, sometimes the dice will get stuck. There we go. You killed him. You got him. You are triumphant, Skip Donahue. If you kill the half-ogre, they have all the books in a bundle 25% off for $26. Irony of Brian has got to run. Good luck on the adventure. Okay, great. Well, thank you for the follow. Before you go there, Irony of Brian. Just wanted to mention so Monday through Thursday, we generally read novels. In fact, we've just finished this one right here. We finished it yesterday. 2.5 hours, Monday through Thursday, work our way through novels. We read some great ones. And then on Sundays, we have Short Story Sunday, where I read short stories and poems and creative writings from people in the stream who have something that they want to share. So anyway, just wanted to mention that before you take off there. I've been doing it here on Mixer for about 2 years. So it's been good times. All right. Have a great day, Irony of Brian. The last of the pirates falls, and with some relief you sheathe your sword. It looks as if the pirates have beaten Dreg within an inch of his life, and he is failing fast. You do your best to make the old man comfortable, and he opens his eyes. "Thanks, stranger," he gasps, "but I'm a goner. They're up to something, you know." You ask him who he's talking about. "Cinnabar's crew, the pirates of the Black Skull." Looking at the hands of Dreg's assailants, you see that each bears the tattoo of a grinning black skull. I've seen them meeting up again round the taverns in the city. Silas Gallows, Keelhaul Jack, old Crivens, even Malou the witch doctor. They're planning something all right. Rumor says Merle the Red found Cinnabar's body, and that he's not rightly dead. But he's not rightly alive either, see. It's all that voodoo and black magic they meddle in. Not right, it isn't. I've heard tell they're planning something big tonight. You'd think old Snide and the guard would be looking into it, but truth be told, no one's been able to locate their hideout. Dreg coughs weakly. He's coming back. We'll all be doomed. Stranger, beware the black skull. Blood Bones is coming back. And then he is gone. Laying the old man down, you ponder his last words and what your next action should be. So Cinnabar is not really dead. In that case, you may still have a chance for revenge. But what did Dreg mean when he said that Cinnabar is not really alive either? Dreg has given you several clues about your enemy and where you should start your search for him, and it seems that time is of the essence if you want to stop the pirates of the Black Skull. The old man mentioned that the pirates of the Black Skull were gathering again in the port of Crabs, so they may have a hidden base somewhere in the city. But of course, at present, you have no idea where it may be. You want to drink the rum? Okay. Stamina's 16 out of 22. Drinking the rum. Rum's gone. You now have 20 out of 22 stamina. Very good. Before leaving Dreg, you search the bodies of his assailants for any further clues. You find nothing helpful, but you do discover that one was carrying a bottle of rum. You could visit some of the taverns and inns yourself in the hope of finding out more. Perhaps you could visit the notorious gambling pits, a possible source of information and a way of increasing your gold pieces. Alternatively, it might be a good idea to better equip yourself by visiting the markets before you set out on your quest. You could try to find out more about the Black Skull and the cult of Kezkari. Then again, although Governor Montargo has certainly allowed the port to remain a safe haven for buccaneers and freebooters, you may do well to get the help of the authorities against Cinnabar. Or you could take the direct approach, abandon your search for further information, and instead look for the pirates' hidden base. You say gamble. Let's do it. We go off to the gambling pits. The gambling pits lie within... Skip Donahue is a risk-taker. The gambling pits lie within the area of the city known as the Claws, the poorest and most dangerous part of the port. The pits themselves are housed in a vast stone building with a large iron-studded oak door. This entrance is flanked by 2 troll guards. As you walk past them, and through the door, they give you a cursory glance, and one says roughly, "Remember, no fighting." Inside the gambling pits lies under a thick cloud of pipeweed smoke, and are packed with the unsavory and roguish clientele you would expect. Mingling with the crowds, you check out the different games that are on offer. After a brief look, you discover 3 that interest you. If you want to check out the Arrow of Providence, you could do that. If Calabrius's calculator takes your fancy, you could try that. Or if you wish to learn more about the amazing Armarno, you could do that too. Or you could leave the gambling pits. Hey, Metal Guru. Good morning, good morning. How you doing, man? I know, tough choices here for Skip Donahue. I'm not much of a gambling man myself, though I do like Vegas. I do like Vegas, but I just go there with money to lose when I have some. The Amazing Armano. Let's do it. Beneath a brightly painted banner bearing his name sits the Amazing Armano. The man has the look of a Lenderlander about him, with sallow skin and a long, thin moustache. He is performing a trick with 3 playing cards and has attracted a small crowd of curious onlookers. 2 of the cards are black, 1 is white, and the aim of the game seems to be to guess which of the cards is the white one when they have been shuffled and laid face down on the small table in front of the man. To play the game, you have to place a stake of 2 gold pieces to win a potential prize of 10 gold pieces. Although at the moment, no one seems to be having much luck against Armano. You have the gold. Do you want to play? If you don't want to play, then you can move on to the Arrow of Providence, or take a closer look at Calabrius's calculator, or leave. Yeah. Which one are we going to be doing here? Metal Guru is holding up, just about. Yeah. Very good. Well, holding up is good. Holding up is good. You want to move on to the Arrow. Okay, so you're not gambling right now. You want to move on to the Arrow. Okay. Hey, Desolate Coma. Right now, Skip Donahue is calling the shots, so I'm just doing what he decides. The Arrow of Providence is a popular game of chance in the gambling pits. It is made up of a large circular board divided into 12 sections, each painted with a legend. An arrow-like pointer has been attached to the center of the board so that it can be spun. To play the game will cost 2 gold pieces, but you will be playing for a potential jackpot of 10 pieces. Would you like to play this? Or would you like to learn about the arrow? Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Do you want to play this, or would you like to leave it? It's always a con, he says. Yeah, maybe. You want to play? All right. All right, here we go. Let's do it. 2 gold pieces. You pay your 2 gold pieces and step up to the board. You get 3 spins of the arrow, and over those 3 turns you must score a total of 10 or more to win the jackpot. To spin the arrow, roll 1 die and add 5. This is the number of spaces round the board that the arrow moves. The next spin starts from this space. You may play the game as many times as you like, as long as you have enough money, but if you win the jackpot, you cannot play again. Alrighty. You got to score 10 or more to win the jackpot. To spin the arrow, roll 1 die and add 5. 3 rolls of the dice to get 10 or more. You ready? Let's do it. Spin the Arrow of Providence. A 4. Roll the 4. Okay. Here. It rests on 4. You've currently scored 4 points. Okay, spin it again. 5. You rolled a 5. The arrow rests on 1 point. You currently scored 5 points. Spin the Arrow of Providence. 3. You rolled a 3. The arrow rests on 2 points. You currently scored 7 points and the game is over. I think you've lost your 2 gold pieces. So you could try again, or cut your losses and move on. Okay, Lady Death is out of here. You have a great day, Lady Death. Have a great day. And have fun with your Fighting Fantasy Classic. Indeed. Okay, we're out of here. Cut your losses and move on. Okay. As you leave the game, you catch a whiff of an interesting conversation. You must test your luck to figure out whether you can clearly hear what is being said. Test your luck. Yes. Don't get much luckier than that. Pair of snake eyes. You need a luck of 7 and you rolled 2. You are lucky. As you elbow your way through the bustling crowds, above the hubbub you hear a gruff voice say in a harsh whisper, "The Virago sails for Bone Island at midnight." Looking round, you see 2 knavish-looking characters part company and go their separate ways among the throng. You will not be able to follow them now. The Virago was the name of Cinnabar's ship, and what was that talk about an island? This careless talk could be an important clue. Wrong one. Where's, got notes? Adventure sheet. Here it is. Oh, it's not noted down in our notes. All right. Could be an important clue. What will you do? You can try a round of Calabrius's calculator, or you could visit the amazing Armano, or you could leave and continue your investigation elsewhere. Decisions from Mr. Skip Donahue. Bum ba 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 bum bum bum. Calculator. All right. Calabrius's calculator is a large mechanical contraption made up of countless cogs, levers, and crankshafts. The main feature of the machine, however, is a large panel with 5 windows in it, behind which are 5 drums with numbers embossed on them. Standing next to the calculating device is its operator, a wizardly-looking man who you assume is Calabrius. Step up, step up. Who will accept the challenge of Calabrius's calculator? Only 2 gold pieces and you could win 10, the man calls out. You imagine that this challenge involves some kind of puzzle generated by the machine. You have the gold pieces. Would you like to take the challenge? Or you could move to the Amano, or you can leave the gambling pit. Miss Rose Morales, hello, what's going on? What's going on, Rose? Good morning. Yeah. We're going to get, yeah, who was next? Do you want to give it a go? All right. Give it a go. Here we go. Okay. Well, okay. Well, let's get Skip Donahue through this puzzle and then on to the next person. All right. Doing choose your own adventure, Rose. Ah, a contestant, Calabrius exclaims. Come forward, don't be shy. Now where's your money? You hand the man your 2 gold pieces. Calabrius moves to the side of the huge calculating device and pulls a lever. There is a lot of noisy clanking, and the number drums spin round at great speed. Gradually, one by one, they come to a stop behind their windows, the last one revealing itself to be blank, so that the panel looks like this. 1, 9, 25, 57. The calculator has devised its cunning conundrum. This machine can The calculator has devised its cunning conundrum. This machine can baffle even the greatest minds in Ruddleston. Can you work out what the next number in the sequence should be? Let's, what does this thing mean? Oh, that's where we, okay. I guess we have to manually stick it in there. Say 1, 9, 25, 57. Okay, someone needs to throw Skip Donahue a kiss there. What would that new number be? Um. And skip a pig. What? Sometimes you got to go with what you got, Skip Donahue. Uh-oh. Ah. You're terrible at math. 8. They are 1, 9, 25, 57. I mean, yeah, I'm sure a simple Google search would pull something up. And good morning, Dragon's Lair. Shadowtronics thinks 99. $99, okay. Answer the riddle. You are wrong. And out of guesses. Rats. If you are not clever enough. Another contestant defeated by the calculator's mighty mechanical brain, gloats Calabrius. You leave Calabrius's calculator in shame. All right, who was next? Who was next? And good morning, Dragon's Lair. Good morning. I don't know. I would not have been able to get that either. I would not have been able to get that. Don't feel bad. But here we are. Okay, so we're moving on from Skip Donahue. Thank you, Skip Donahue, for for not getting us killed, at least. Lost us some money, but at least we're still alive and kicking. Let's get on to the next into our next participant. Did we have anyone up next? Ah, at least you got a kiss, so you still won. All right. Very good. Very good. Rose, Rose, are you interested in joining in here? Rose, no, she's not interested, Shadow. Okay, well, okay, we'll go to Shadow. Shadow, you can call some I can't believe... Usually people have... There's a queue a mile long normally for this. It's crazy. All right, I don't know where everyone is. Okay, Shadow, you're up. Anyone else wanting to get in, add yourself to the queue. All right. Shadow, do you want to visit the amazing Armano or leave the gambling pit? No one else knows what they're doing either, Rose. It's okay. The number was 121. Ah, that's, boy, oh boy. Okay, Shadow says we're leaving. Okay, so Shadow's got it for 15 minutes, and then I don't know who's next after that, but throw your name down in the hat if you want in. As you emerge from the gambling house, you note that 2 hours have passed since you entered. Pushing through the bustling hordes of gamblers, you suddenly feel something pushed into your hand. Quickly looking about you, you think you see an old woman hurrying away, but she is soon lost in the crowds. You've been given a sealed envelope. You wait until you are outside before breaking the wax seal and opening the envelope. Inside are a letter and an iron key. The letter reads as follows. If you are determined to defeat the pirates of the Black Skull, go to room 101 at the Silent Donkey. A friend. Ah, is that the sequence? Interesting. Next time we'll get it. You presume that the key must be the one to the room at the inn. To follow up on this contact now, turn to 101. Otherwise, if you wish to ignore the letter, we can do that instead too. Yeah, algebra is kind of, yeah, right. You know. Lady Death saying bye over on Twitch. Yeah. You want to follow up on the contact now? The Silent Donkey is situated on a dingy back street within the claws. Several suspicious characters watch you enter the inn, but none try to stop you. Creeping up the creaky wooden staircase, you come to the first room on the first floor, room 101. The key turns in the lock, and, opening the door, you step into a room furnished with only a table and chair. But what you see there sends an icy chill down your spine. On the table rests a human skull, painted black and decorated with a headdress of brightly colored bird's feathers. The black skull. This is a bad omen. There is nobody here, so this must have been all a setup by Cinnabar's cronies to delay you. The skull fills you with foreboding, but it still intrigues you. Do you want to take it with you? Or not? Ah. All kinds of advice coming in from the sides. Tough decisions for Shadowtronics. Looking at our adventure sheet real fast. It's the voodoo that you do. Indeed. Let's see, is Shadow started like trying to like, you want to take it? Okay. Picking up the skull, you are suddenly filled with an almost overpowering sense of fear and paranoia. You have suffered a terrible curse and lose 2 luck points and 1 skill point. Involuntarily, you drop the skull, smashing it on the floor. These are the kind of notes that people need to be taken down. You have wasted enough time here already, so you prepare to leave the Silent Donkey. Test your luck, our newly lowered luck. Our luck is now 4. 4 out of 7. Man, okay. Need to roll a 4 or less. Nope. Unlucky. You step through the door, and all too late notice a movement in the shadows either side of you. A heavy kosh hits you across the back of your head, and you lose consciousness immediately. You come to, tied to a stone altar before a hideous, bony likeness of the voodoo death god Kezkari. You only just have time to take in the fact that you are in a large underground chamber packed with pirates and devotees before a black-robed priest plunges his sacrificial knife into your heart. Your very blood shall be used to help bring your enemy back to life. The end. Oh, knows. Yeah. Okay, well, at 11:35, it's going to be too late to restart. I think too late to restart. But man, this one's a hard one. It is a hard one. And but yeah, all I can say is if you want to get through to the end of it, you probably want to be taking some notes. So there, Raging Rab, what's going on? So what we're going to do, we're going to actually switch to some actual short stories right now. Some actual short stories. Let me load up my Kindle real fast. Hey, Borrowing Orange. Getting a nice host there. Nice, nice, nice. Who wrote that one about the nameless city? Was that Poe or was that Lovecraft? I think it was Lovecraft. You keep getting pulled away. It's okay. It's okay. Lovecraft. It was Lovecraft, was it? Okay. Okay. We will. Okay. We're going to read The Nameless City, and then I have to go. Yeah, because I got some stuff to record in the studio. I have an audition. Yes. Okay. Things are starting to look up, maybe. All right. 1 second, checking my work emails real fast here. Oh, interesting. And man, bum. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's oh, that was some Tennyson. What was that? The wrong box. Oh yeah. Interesting. All right. What are we looking up? Lovecraft. Where's my Lovecraft? There it is. The Nameless City. You know, I need to change. Oh, I need to change a couple of things around over here. 1 second. Need this. Move this on over here. Can you get a list somewhere from all the commands? You know, I don't know. I don't know if there is a list that comes up here. Let us. Oh, I got to change the title. That's what I need to change. Okay, The Nameless City by H.P. Lovecraft. Okay. Just change our scene here, book screen. Do we have everything we need here? See, that weekly sub goal is wrong. It's wrong right there. It's not updating. Streamlabs, you are. Where is it? Right here. Move that down. Coconut's migrating? I'm missing stuff in chat, I know that for sure. Alright. Okay. So there we go. Okay, let's just, we're going to finish up with a bit of this here. Yeah, I'm sure if you look up stream avatar commands, there's probably one for that. But yeah, I don't know what the commands are for pulling them all up myself. I know there's fight, there is duel, which the other person needs to accept or not. And the difference between those is with duel, you can actually gamble money, like, you know, to see who wins. Jump, fart, dance, and there's some stuff reserved for subscribers as well. Oh wow, even mixed plays turning on and off. All right. What is the audition for well done? That's cool, by the way. I wish you what? Good lord. I'm not. What's the audition for wello done? That's cool, by the way. I wish you luck. I don't know. I don't know. All right, okay. But here we go. We're gonna end. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So you can do like a battle royale. What else can you do? That is. There's another command too, which I think is restricted just to channel subs. All right. let us get on with it. Let's do it. Let's read a little story. The Nameless City. And why is my... Oh, yeah. Actually, it's been a while since we've done a boss fight. Yeah. Yeah, that one's just for mods to trigger. Actually, that one there, the boss fights. Yeah. Yeah, because that one is one, you need like a lot of people to do it, but it also takes up like a lot of space as well. I can't say skip. Yeah, this is the great thing about doing voice over work. You can't say anything. You can't say anything. So yeah. Here we go. There we go. There's an easy boss for you. There's an easy boss fight for you. Yeah, so as soon as it prompts you to, you're just going to say join, exclamation join, and then a space, and then either mage, priest, or warrior. There we go. I don't know. I don't know if you're going to win it. You're probably not ready for it. You have a minute to join on in. Anyways, yeah, so exclamation join, and then a space, and then mage, priest, or warrior. Like that, like Shadowtronics just did there. Good luck. You are gonna need it. In the meantime, the Nameless City. When I drew nigh the Nameless City, I knew it was accursed. I just want to say, okay, it does say there, okay. Yeah. When I drew nigh the Nameless City, I knew it was accursed. I was traveling in a parched and terrible valley under the moon, and afar I saw it protruding uncannily above the sands, as part of a corpse may protrude from an ill-made grave. Fear spoke from the age-worn stones of this hoary survivor of the deluge, this great-grandmother of the eldest pyramid, and a viewless aura repelled me and bade me retreat from antique and sinister secrets that no man should see, and no man else had ever dared to see. Remote in the desert of Araby lies the Nameless City, crumbling and inarticulate, its low walls nearly hidden by the sands of uncounted ages. It must have been thus before the first stones of Memphis were laid, and while the bricks of Babylon were yet unbaked. There is no legend so old as to give it a name, or to recall that it was ever alive. But it is told of in whispers around campfires, and muttered about by grandams in the tents of sheiks, so that all the tribes shun it, without wholly knowing why. It was of this place that Abdul-Alazred, the mad poet, dreamed on the night before he sang his unexplainable couplet. That is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange aeons even death may die. I should have known that the Arabs had good reason for shunning the Nameless City, the city told of in strange tales, but seen by no living man. Yet I defied them, and went into the untrodden waste with my camel. I alone have seen it, and that is why no other face bears such hideous lines of fear as mine, why no other man shivers so horribly when the night wind rattles the windows. When I came upon it in the ghastly stillness of unending sleep, it looked at me, chilly from the rays of a cold moon amidst the desert's heat. And as I returned its look, I forgot my triumph at finding it, and stopped still with my camel to wait for the dawn. For hours I waited, till the east grew gray, and the stars faded, and the gray turned to rosial light, edged with gold. I heard a moaning and saw a storm of sand stirring among the antique stones, though the sky was clear and the vast reaches of the desert still. Then suddenly, above the desert's far rim, came the blazing edge of the sun, seen through the tiny sandstorm which was passing away. And in my fevered state I fancied that from some remote depth there came a crash of musical metal to hail the fiery disk, as Memnon hails it from the banks of the Nile. My ears rang, and my imagination seethed as I led my camel slowly across the sand to that unvocal stone place. That place too old for Egypt and Meroe to remember, that place which I alone of living men had seen. In and out amongst the shapeless foundations of houses and palaces I wandered, finding never a carving or inscription to tell of those men, if men they were, who built the city and dwelt therein so long ago. The antiquity of the spot was unwholesome, and I longed to encounter some sign or device to prove that the city was indeed fashioned by mankind. There were certain proportions and dimensions in the ruins which I did not like. I had with me many tools, and dug much within the walls of the obliterated edifices, but progress was slow, and nothing significant was revealed. When night and the moon returned, I felt a chill wind which brought new fear, so that I did not dare to remain in the city. And as I went outside the antique walls to sleep, a small, sighing sandstorm gathered behind me, blowing over the gray stones, though the moon was bright, and most of the desert still. I awaked just at dawn from a pageant of horrible dreams, my ears ringing as from some metallic peal. I saw the sun peering redly through the last gusts of a little sandstorm that hovered over the nameless city, and marked the quietness of the rest of the landscape. Once more I ventured within those brooding ruins that swells beneath the sand like an ogre under a coverlet, and again dug vainly for relics of the forgotten race. At noon I rested, and in the afternoon I spent much time tracing the walls and the bygone streets and the outlines of the nearly vanished buildings. I saw that the city had been mighty indeed, and wondered at the sources of its greatness. To myself I pictured all the splendors of an age so distant that Chaldea could not recall it, and thought of Sarnath the doomed, that stood in the land of Mana when mankind was young, and of Ib, that was carven of grey stone before mankind existed. All at once I came upon a place where the bedrock rose stark through the sand, and formed a low cliff. And here I saw with joy what seemed to promise further traces of the antediluvian people. Hewn rudely on the face of the cliff were the unmistakable facades of several small, squat rock houses or temples, whose interiors might preserve many secrets of ages too remote for calculation. Those sandstorms had long since effaced any carvings which may have been outside. Very low and sand-choked were all of the dark apertures near me. But I cleared one with my spade and crawled through it, carrying a torch to reveal whatever mysteries it might hold. When I was inside, I saw that the cavern was indeed a temple, and beheld plain signs of the race that had lived and worshipped before the desert was a desert. Primitive altars, pillars, and niches, all curiously low, were not absent. And though I saw no sculptures nor frescoes, there were many singular stones, clearly shaped into symbols by artificial means. The lowness of the chiseled chamber was very strange, for I could hardly more than kneel upright. But the area was so great that my torch showed only part at a time. I shuddered oddly in some of the far corners, for certain altars and stones suggested forgotten rites of terrible, revolting, and inexplicable nature, and made me wonder what manner of men could have made and frequented such a temple. When I had seen all that the place contained, I crawled out again, avid to find what the other temples might yield. Night had now approached, yet the tangible things I had seen made curiosity stronger than fear, so that I did not flee from the long, moon-cast shadows that had daunted me when first I saw the nameless city. In the twilight I cleared another aperture, and with a new torch crawled into it, finding more vague stones and symbols, though nothing more definite than the other temple had contained. The room was just as low, but much less broad, ending in a very narrow passage crowded with obscure and cryptical shrines. About these shrines I was prying, when the noise of a wind and of my camel outside broke through the stillness and drew me forth to see what could have frightened the beast. Good morning, Bat Games. The moon was gleaming vividly over the primeval ruins, lighting a dense cloud of sand that seemed blown by a strong but decreasing wind from some point along the cliff ahead of me. I knew it was this chilly, sandy wind which had disturbed the camel, and was about to lead him to a place of better shelter, when I chanced to glance up and saw that there was no wind atop the cliff. This astonished me, and made me fearful again. But I immediately recalled the sudden local winds I had seen and heard before at sunrise and sunset, and judged it was a normal thing. I decided that it came from some rock fissure leading to a cave, and watched the troubled sand to trace it to its source, soon perceiving that it came from the black orifice of a temple a long distance south of me, almost out of sight. Against the choking sand cloud I plodded toward this temple, which, as I neared it, loomed larger than the rest, and showed a doorway far less clogged with caked sand. I would have entered had not the terrific force of the icy wind almost quenched my torch. It poured madly out of the dark door, sighing uncannily as it ruffled the sand and spread about the weird ruins. Soon it grew fainter, and the sand grew more and more still, till finally all was at rest again. But a presence seemed stalking among the spectral stones of the city, and when I glanced at the moon, it seemed to quiver, as though mirrored in unquiet waters. I was more afraid than I could explain, but not enough to dull my thirst for wonder. So as soon as the wind was quite gone, I crossed into the dark chamber from which it had come. This temple, as I had fancied from the outside, was larger than either of those I had visited before, and was presumably a natural cavern, since it bore winds from some region beyond. Here I could stand quite upright, but saw that the stones and altars were as low as those in the other temples. On the walls and roof I beheld for the first time some traces of the pictorial art of the ancient race. Curious curling streaks of paint that had almost faded or crumbled away. And on two of the altars I saw with rising excitement a maze of well-fashioned curvilinear carvings. As I held my torch aloft, it seemed to me that the shape of the roof was too regular to be natural, and I wondered what the prehistoric cutters of stone had first worked upon. Their engineering skill must have been vast. Then a brighter flare of the fantastic flame showed me that for which I had been seeking, the opening to those remoter abysses whence the sudden wind had blown, and I grew faint when I saw that it was a small and plainly artificial door chiseled in the solid rock. I thrust my torch within, beholding a black tunnel with the roof arching low over a rough flight of very small, numerous, and steeply descending steps. I shall always see those steps in my dreams, for I came to learn what they meant. At the time, I hardly knew whether to call them steps or mere footholds in a precipitous descent. My mind was whirling with mad thoughts, and the words and warnings of Arab prophets seemed to float across the desert from the lands that men know to the nameless city that men dare not know. Yet I hesitated only a moment before advancing through the portal and commencing to climb cautiously down the steep passage, feet first, as though on a ladder. It is only in the terrible phantasms of drugs or delirium that any other man can have had such a descent as mine. The narrow passage led infinitely down like some hideous haunted well, and the torch I held above my head could not light the unknown depths toward which I was crawling. I lost track of the hours and forgot to consult my watch, though I was frightened when I thought of the distance I must be traversing. There were changes of direction and of steepness, and once I came to a long, low, level passage where I had to wriggle feet first along the rocky floor, holding my torch at arm's length beyond my head. The place was not high enough for kneeling. After that were more of the steep steps, and I was still scrambling down interminably when my failing torch died out. I did not think I noticed it at the time, for when I did notice it, I was still holding it high above me as if it were ablaze. I was quite unbalanced with that instinct for the strange and the unknown, which has made me a wanderer upon the earth and a haunter of far, ancient, and forbidden places. In the darkness there flashed before my mind fragments of my cherished treasury of demoniac lore, sentences from Alazred, the mad Arab, paragraphs from the apocryphal nightmares of Damascus, and infamous lines from the delirious Image du Monde of Gautier de Metz. I repeated queer extracts I repeated queer extracts and muttered of Afrasiab and the demons that floated with him down the Oxus, later chanting over and over again a phrase from one of Lord Dunsany's tales, the unreverberate blackness of the abyss. Once, when the descent grew amazingly steep, I recited something in sing-song from Thomas Moore until I feared to recite more. A reservoir of darkness, black as witches' cauldrons are when filled with moon drugs in the eclipse distilled. Leaning to look if foot might pass down through that chasm, I saw beneath, as far as vision could explore, the jetty sides as smooth as glass, looking as if just varnished o'er with that dark pitch the sea of death throws out upon its slimy shore. Time had quite ceased to exist when my feet again felt a level floor, and I found myself in a place slightly higher than the rooms in the two smaller temples, now so incalculably far above my head. I could not quite stand, but could kneel upright, and in the dark I shuffled and crept hither and thither at random. I soon knew that I was in a narrow passage whose walls were lined with cases of wood, having glass fronts. As in that Paleozoic and abysmal place I felt of such things as polished wood and glass, I shuddered at the possible implications. The cases were apparently ranged along each side of the passage at regular intervals, and were oblong and horizontal, hideously like coffins in shape and size. When I tried to move 2 or 3 for further examination, I found they were firmly fastened. I saw that the passage was a long one, so floundered ahead rapidly in a creeping run that would have seemed horrible had any eye watched me in the blackness, crossing from side to side occasionally to feel of my surroundings and be sure that the walls and rows of cases still stretched on. Man is so used to thinking visually that I almost forgot the darkness, and pictured the endless corridor of wood and glass in its low-studded monotony, as though I saw it. And then, in a moment of indescribable emotion, I did see it. You're welcome, Croaky String. Just when my fancy merged into real sight, I cannot tell. But there came a gradual glow ahead, and all at once I knew that I saw the dim outlines of the corridor and the cases, revealed by some unknown subterranean phosphorescence. For a little while all was exactly as I had imagined it, since the glow was very faint. But as I mechanically kept on stumbling ahead into the stronger light, I realized that my fancy had been but feeble. This hall was no relic of crudity like the temples in the city above, but a monument of the most magnificent and exotic art. Rich, vivid, and daringly fantastic designs and pictures formed a continuous scheme of mural painting, whose lines and colors were beyond description. The cases were of a strange golden wood, with fronts of exquisite glass, and contained the mummified forms of creatures outreaching in grotesqueness the most chaotic dreams of man. To convey any idea of these monstrosities is impossible. They were of the reptile kind, with body lines suggesting sometimes the crocodile, sometimes the seal, but more often nothing of which either the naturalist or the paleontologist ever heard. In size they approximated a small man, and their forelegs bore delicate and evidently flexible feet, curiously like human hands and fingers. But strangest of all were their heads, which presented a contour violating all known biological principles. To nothing can such things be well compared. In one flash I thought of comparisons as varied as the cat, the bulldog, the mythic satyr, and the human being. Not Jove himself had so colossal and protuberant a forehead, yet the horns, and the noselessness, and the alligator-like jaw placed the things outside all established categories. I debated for a time on the reality of the mummies, half suspecting they were artificial idols, but soon decided they were indeed some Paleogean species which had lived when the nameless city was alive. To crown their grotesqueness, most of them were gorgeously enrobed in the costliest of fabrics, and lavishly laden with ornaments of gold, jewels, and unknown shining metals. The importance of these crawling creatures must have been vast, for they held first place among the wild designs on the frescoed walls and ceiling. With matchless skill had the artists drawn them in a world of their own, wherein they had cities and gardens fashioned to suit their dimensions, and I could not but think that their pictured history was allegorical, perhaps showing the progress of the race that worshipped them. These creatures, I said to myself, were to the men of the nameless city what the she-wolf was to Rome, or some totem beast is to a tribe of Indians. Holding this view, I thought I could trace roughly a wonderful epic of the nameless city, the tale of a mighty sea-coast metropolis that ruled the world before Africa rose out of the waves, and of its struggles as the sea shrank away, and the desert crept into the fertile valley that held it. I saw its wars and triumphs, its troubles and defeats, and afterward its terrible fight against the desert, when thousands of its people, here represented in allegory by the grotesque reptiles, were driven to chisel their way down through the rocks in some marvelous manner to another world whereof their prophets had told them. It was all vividly weird and realistic, and its connection with the awesome descent I had made was unmistakable. I even recognized the passages. As I crept along the corridor toward the brighter light, I saw later stages of the painted epic, the leave-taking of the race that had dwelt in the nameless city and the valley around for 10 million years, the race whose souls shrank from quitting scenes their bodies had known so long, where they had settled as nomads in the earth's youth, hewing in the virgin rock those primal shrines at which they never ceased to worship. Now that the light was better, I studied the pictures more closely, and remembering that the strange reptiles must represent the unknown men, pondered upon the customs of the nameless city. What's up, Mr. Galen? D. Cloud, hey, what's up? Many things were peculiar and inexplicable. The civilization, which included a written alphabet, had seemingly risen to a higher order than those immeasurably later civilizations of Egypt and Chaldea. Yet there were curious omissions. I could, for example, find no pictures to represent deaths or funeral customs, save such as were related to wars, violence, and plagues. And I wondered at the reticence shown concerning natural death. It was as though an ideal of earthly immortality had been fostered as a cheering illusion. Still nearer the end of the passage were painted scenes of the utmost picturesqueness and extravagance. Contrasted views of the nameless city in its desertion and growing ruin, and of the strange new realm or paradise to which the race had hewed its way through the stone. In these views, the city and the desert valley were shown always by moonlight, a golden nimbus hovering over the fallen walls and half revealing the splendid perfection of former times, shown spectrally and elusively by the artist. The paradisal scenes were almost too extravagant to be believed, portraying a hidden world of eternal day, filled with glorious cities and ethereal hills and valleys. At the very last, I thought I saw signs of an artistic anticlimax. The paintings were less skillful, and much more bizarre than even the wildest of the earlier scenes. They seemed to record a slow decadence of the ancient stock, coupled with a growing ferocity toward the outside world from which it was driven by the desert. The forms of the people, always represented by the sacred reptiles, appeared to gradually waste away, though their spirit, as shown hovering about the ruins by moonlight, gained in proportion. Emaciated priests, displayed as reptiles in ornate robes, cursed the upper air and all who breathed it. And one terrible final scene showed a primitive-looking man, perhaps a pioneer of ancient Irem, the city of pillars, torn to pieces by members of the elder race. I remembered how the Arabs fear the nameless city, and was glad that beyond this place the grey walls and ceiling were bare. As I reviewed the pageant of mural history, I had approached closely the end of the low-ceiled hall, and was aware of a great gate through which came all of the illuminating phosphorescence. Creeping up to it, I cried aloud in transcendent amazement at what lay beyond. For instead of other and brighter chambers, there was only an illimitable void of uniform radiance, such as one might fancy when gazing down from the peak of Mount Everest upon a sea of sunlit mist. Behind me was a passage so cramped that I could not stand upright in it. Before me was an infinity of subterranean effulgence. Reaching down from the passage into the abyss was the head of a steep flight of steps. Small, numerous steps, like those of the black passages I had traversed. But after a few feet, the glowing vapors concealed everything. Swung back open against the left hand of the wall of the passage was a massive door of brass, incredibly thick and decorated with fantastic bas-relief, which could, if closed, shut the whole inner world of light away from the vaults and passages of rock. I looked at the steps, and for the nonce dared not try them. I touched the open brass door, and could not move it. Then I sank prone to the stone floor, my mind aflame with prodigious reflections which not even a death-like exhaustion could banish. As I lay still, with closed eyes, free to ponder, many things I had rightly noted in the frescoes came back to me, with new and terrible significance. Scenes representing the nameless city in its heyday, the vegetation of the valley around it, and the distant lands with which its merchants traded. The allegory of the crawling creatures puzzled me by its universal prominence, and I wondered that it should be so closely followed in a pictured history of such importance. In the frescoes, the nameless city had been shown in proportions fitted to the reptiles. I wondered what its real proportions and magnificence had been, and reflected a moment on certain oddities I had noticed in the ruins. I thought curiously of the lowness of the primal temples, and of the underground corridor, which were doubtless hewn thus out of deference to the reptile deities there honored, though it perforce reduced the worshippers to crawling. Perhaps the very rites had involved a crawling in imitation of the creatures. No religious theory, however, could easily explain why the level passages in that awesome descent should be as low as the temples, or lower, since one could not even kneel in it. As I thought of the crawling creatures, whose hideous mummified forms were so close to me, I felt a new throb of fear. Mental associations are curious, and I shrank from the idea that, except for the poor primitive man torn to pieces in the last painting, mine was the only human form amidst the many relics and symbols of primordial life. But as always, in my strange and roving existence, wonder soon drove out fear, for the luminous abyss and what it might contain presented a problem worthy of the greatest explorer. That a weird world of mystery lay far down that flight of peculiarly small steps I could not doubt, and I hoped to find there those human memorials which the painted corridor had failed to give. The frescoes had pictured unbelievable cities, hills and valleys in this lower realm, and my fancy dwelt on the rich and colossal ruins that awaited me. My fears, indeed, concerned the past rather than the future. Not even the physical horror of my position in that cramped corridor of dead reptiles and antediluvian frescoes, miles below the world I knew, and faced by another world of eerie light and mist, could match the lethal dread I felt at the abysmal antiquity of the scene and its soul. An ancientness so vast that measurement is feeble seemed to leer down from the primal stones and rock-hewn temples in the nameless city, while the very latest of the astounding maps in the frescoes showed oceans and continents that man has forgotten, with only here and there some vaguely familiar outline. Of what could have happened in the geological aeons since the paintings ceased and the death-hating race resentfully succumbed to decay, no man might say. Life had once teemed in these caverns and in the luminous realm beyond. Now I was alone with vivid relics, and I trembled to think of the countless ages through which these relics had kept a silent and deserted vigil. Suddenly there came another burst of that acute fear which had intermittently seized me ever since I first saw the terrible valley and the nameless city under that cold moon. And despite my exhaustion, I found myself starting frantically to a sitting posture and gazing back along the black corridor toward the tunnels that rose to the outer world. My sensations were much like those which had made me shun the nameless city at night, and were as inexplicable as they were poignant. In another moment, however, I received a still greater shock, in the form of a definite sound. The first, which had broken the utter silence of these tomb-like depths. It was a deep, low moaning, as of a distant throng of condemned spirits, and came from the direction in which I was staring. Its volume rapidly grew, till soon it reverberated frightfully through the low passage, and at the same time I became conscious of an increasing draught of cold air, likewise flowing from the tunnels and the city above. The touch of this air seemed to restore my balance, for I instantly recalled the sudden gusts which had risen around the mouth of the abyss each sunset and sunrise, one of which had indeed served to reveal the hidden tunnels to me. I looked at my watch and saw that sunrise was near, so I braced myself to resist the gale which was sweeping down to its cavern home as it had swept forth that evening. My fear again waned low, since a natural phenomenon tends to dispel broodings over the unknown. More and more madly poured the shrieking, moaning night wind into that gulf of the inner earth. I dropped prone again and clutched vainly at the floor for fear of being swept bodily through the open gate into the phosphorescent abyss. Such fury I had not expected, and as I grew aware of an actual slipping of my form toward the abyss, I was beset by 1,000 new terrors of apprehension and imagination. The malignancy of the blast awakened incredible fancies. Once more I compared myself shudderingly to the only other human image in that frightful corridor, the man who was torn to pieces by the nameless race, for in the fiendish clawing of the swirling currents there seemed to abide a vindictive rage, all the stronger because it was largely impotent. I think I screamed frantically near the last. I was almost mad. But if I did so, my cries were lost in the hell-born babble of the howling wind-wraiths. I tried to crawl against the murderous invisible torrent, but I could not even hold my own as I was pushed slowly and inexorably toward the unknown world. Finally, reason must have wholly snapped, for I fell to babbling over and over that unexplainable couplet of the mad Arab Alazred who dreamed of the nameless city. That is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange aeons even death may die. Only the grim, brooding desert gods know what really took place, what indescribable struggles and scrambles in the dark I endured, or what Abaddon guided me back to life, where I must always remember and shiver in the night wind till oblivion, or worse, claims me. Monstrous, unnatural, colossal was the thing, too far beyond all the ideas of man to be believed, except in the silent, damnable small hours when one cannot sleep. I have said that the fury of the rushing blast was infernal, cacodemoniacal, and that its voices were hideous with the pent-up viciousness of desolate eternities. Presently those voices, while still chaotic before me, seemed to my beating brain to take articulate form behind me, and down there in the grave of unnumbered aeon-dead antiquities, leagues below the dawn-lit world of men, I heard the ghastly cursing and snarling of strange-tongued fiends. Turning, I saw outlined against the luminous ether of the abyss what could not be seen against the dusk of the corridor. A nightmare horde of rushing devils, hate-distorted, grotesquely panoplied, half-transparent, devils of a race no man might mistake, the crawling reptiles of the nameless city. And as the wind died away, I was plunged into the ghoul-peopled blackness of earth's bowels. For behind the last of the creatures, the great brazen door clanged shut with a deafening peal of metallic music, whose reverberations swelled out to the distant world, to hail the rising sun as Memnon hails it from the banks of the Nile. Ooh. Alrighty, I don't know if he's going to make it out of there alive. I don't know. Okay, let me catch up with chat, and then it'll be time to say goodbye. It will be time to say goodbye. Very good. Okay. What do we got? Going backwards. We got, Dr. Baconstein came in. Shadowtronics is getting a Dreamhive notebook. Very nice, very nice. Oh, yeah, I saw a Dreamhive beanie. Looked pretty cool. Well, thank you, Rose. Thank you, Rose. It is very spoopy. Very spoopy. Thank you, Skip Donahue. Very good to see you. Thank you. Yeah. Alrighty, back up. Mr. Oh, did my thing change? I don't have a prefix thing. Very good. All right. Mr. Galen's here. You're going to hide. You don't feel right having all your links in. Whatever. Shadowtronic's house is paid off. Yeah. So he's got some extra bucks now. Very cool, very cool. You should be saving it. Look at all them smileys going on. I like that. I really like that new overlay. People just go mad with them stickers. With those, even emojis get on up there. It's great. Yeah, so how are you doing, Mr. Galen? What's up, man? What is up? Where are we at? Where are we at? I need to set up a store here? Nah, I don't know. The beat up in the Cheshire Cat? What? That must be Galen stuff. Yeah. Backing up. Scrolling, and that's as far back as it goes. So I probably missed some. In there, but that's okay. You braved the wild today. Did you do what everyone else is doing? There we go. Look at that. That's awesome. Yeah, so lost my train of thought. No, you should do what everyone else is doing. Go somewhere and then take a picture of everyone else in big crowds there, being like, look at all these people, what are they all doing here? And then post it on Twitter. That's what everyone's doing right now. It's crazy. Yeah. I don't know. It's sometimes you do need to go out though, because there's some things you just can't get done. But yeah, it's funny. I'm just yeah, I just been. I don't know. I know a lot of people who, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not going into it. Not going into it. Okay, right. We're doing good. We're doing good here. I do need to end right. Wow, I'm already a half an hour late. I hate to cut and run, and we do. Let's get that those credits rolling there. I need to go. I have some stuff I need to record. I'm going to be back. Probably, I'd say, I don't know, maybe an hour, maybe 90 minutes, and I'm going to be doing some editing on stream, just because I got to get some of that done. But I have something really important I got to take care of right now. It's not as bad in your area, but people still going to be. Oh, yeah, people are idiots where I am. All right. You drove 3 towns away to stock up on food. Nice. That's right. Take all their food. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of lucky that everyone here is doing delivery of some kind, and man, it must suck to be one of those drivers, but yeah, it's just not going out is great. Yeah, but yeah, it's yeah, like the past week and a half, the amount of traffic on the roads has just picked up so much. It's unreal. I think people are just like losing focus on it. It would have been so nice if the whole country just like, oh, okay, everyone, 2 weeks, here we go, let's do it right now. That would have been great, but it's just so drawn out, and oh boy, it's a real Peter. Shadowtronics is headed tonight to Middle Earth. What are you doing in Middle Earth? All right. Oh yeah, doing the Shadow of War. Yes. Very good. He killed the guy on Doom, took his head off, and the emoji floated off the net. Nice. Oh boy, lots of hearts. I like them. Okay, yeah, so all right, I need to go take care of something. Yeah, so I'll be back in about an hour and a half as soon as I get this thing done, and then I got to do some crazy editing. Oh yeah, so tonight we're doing some bleeding edge, and then gears. So we're going to start off with some bleeding edge. I might start a little earlier on that too. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, we got to get caught up with some gears. Hopefully, there's going to be a new escape room in there. Actually, I might take a look and see if a new one did. I hope they're back to doing weekly escape rooms instead of once every 2 weeks. But here we go. Let me change scenes real fast. There we go. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, Shadowtronics. Thank you, Lady Death, who was here earlier. Great seeing you all. Chizara is here as well. Very cool. Yeah. We finished this book last night. We finished this one here, and what was it? It was Whose Body by Dorothy Sayers. Yeah, so we're starting a brand new novel on Monday. We are plowing through these bad boys. There we go. Skip Donahue. Good lord, look at that. He did the same thing last night. The dude just, he's got a massive head start over the top of everyone else. Good lord. It's like more than everyone else put together. Good gracious. Shadowtronics and Lady Death, thank you. Yeah. Shadowtronics and Anomaly, someone else who was very excited to discover that we read books here on Mixer. He was very excited. Thank you, Shadowtronics and Anomaly. Bunch of Sparks. I like them. Let's take a look at them stickers. I need to get the design in for the last one. I got one more Jer Henning sticker coming. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. Wow, okay, and all those emotes. Normally I'd say those are... Orgon's not here right now, is he? Normally it's Orgon going crazy with those. Is he here? I'm not sure. Anyway, so everyone have a great night. Yeah, and good luck at work there, Kate. Yeah. Get your co-workers whipped into shape. They need to pull their weight. Chizara, nice seeing you there. Hateless Heart, hello. Nice meeting you. I'm running away. But yeah, we'll be back with more Choose Your Own Adventure tomorrow morning as well. But Gears later tonight. And Mr. Galen, I'll catch up with Mr. Galen a bit later. But yeah, I'm actually late. I'm running late. I'm a half hour late right now, and luckily I always allow myself an hour